First at 4, indoor dining will make a comeback, but that decision comes with a warning for you and your family. We'll take a look at the factors you'll need to consider. Donald Trump's impeachment is moving forward. We'll tell you what's next. And President Biden's new cabinet is breaking a racial barrier. Good afternoon, Paula.
A reflection on the history of the week from some of the most impressive voices of our future.
It's been so long since November, and even though it's only been a couple months, it feels like 10 years.
The pride and pain of the next generation.
Far cry from the 40s that we were looking at yesterday, but when temperatures drop tonight, it'll be the coldest that we have felt in nearly a year. That and some serious snow next week. Right now, first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew, and that breaking news is the resignation of a key player in Michigan's COVID response. Robert Gordon, the director of the Department of Health and Human Services, just tweeted the announcement in the past hour. He wrote simply, quote, "Today I am resigning from the Whitmer administration. It's been an honor to serve alongside wonderful colleagues. I look forward to the next chapter." Now, no one was really expecting this, but Gordon was noticeably absent from the governor's news conference this morning. We did reach out to Governor Whitmer. She appointed this woman you see there, Elizabeth Hertel, as the department's new director. But the statement we received said nothing further about Gordon's seemingly abrupt resignation. Of course, we do continue to work the story. We'll have an update for you when you join us at 5. Now, that resignation came hours after Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced a return to indoor dining with strings attached.
I know this pandemic has hurt our restaurant owners, our restaurant workers, and all of their families. I want to thank those that made incredible sacrifices and did their part on behalf of protecting our communities from COVID.
Now, as expected, indoor dining and bars will be allowed to reopen February 1st. Nightclubs remain closed. Concessions will be allowed at theaters, movies, bowling centers, stadiums, and casinos. And effective today, large stadium capacity has been raised from 250 people to 500 with masks and social distancing still in place. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with some of the restrictions restaurants still face. Hey, Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. The governor and her team say the recent COVID pause did work and the data on new cases and hospitalizations is improving. That's also why they say lifting the indoor dining ban comes with stringent precautions. Bars and restaurants can only reopen at 25% capacity with up to 100 people. Tables must be 6 feet apart with no more than 6 people per table. Outdoor tents with 4 sides are permitted. Also, there's a curfew as bars and restaurants must close by 10 p.m. The state will also allow food service places to become certified as COVID safe if they have their ventilation systems inspected. The state's chief medical executive cautions indoor dining comes with some risk, and each of us must make smart decisions that work for our families.
The safest thing to do, especially if you are elderly, if you have underlying medical conditions, or if you live with someone who's elderly or has underlying medical conditions, the safest thing to do is to not eat inside a restaurant. But we still want you to order from them, though. You can support them with takeout, delivery, or dining outdoors.
Yeah, and Karen, you talked about it at the very top of the newscast. Normally, Robert Gordon has been on hand for these announcements since the mandates actually come from the health department. It's a big policy change and now a change in personnel. As you mentioned, we'll have more on all of this when you join us on Local 4 News at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
All right. Let's get to the latest coronavirus numbers, and the state's case count continues to plateau. The state reports more than 2,100 new cases and 17 additional deaths in the last 24 hours. The 7-day positive test rate is below 7%. On the vaccine front, Garden City Hospital has opened COVID-19 vaccine appointments to community members in Wayne County. The hospital says it has about 1,000 doses of Pfizer's vaccine for seniors 65 and over, and some frontline essential workers as well. Remember, you can find information about how to get vaccinated throughout Metro Detroit on our website, clickondetroit.com. Police are investigating after a 62-year-old man was injured in a dog mauling, and that happened on the city's west side. It happened this morning outside of a home near Fullerton and Wildermere. Police tell us the man was walking past the home when 4 dogs left their yard and attacked him. Witness says he had to hit the dogs to get them back into the yard and then lock the gate. The victim is hospitalized. Later, you'll hear from that witness about those terrifying moments. We'll have that story for you at 5. Online sports betting and casino gaming is officially underway in Michigan. Detroit's 3 casinos have all been approved and have launched apps for you to place bets. Also approved are 7 tribal casinos across the state. Michigan legalized sports betting in 2019, but until now, players had to place bets in person. Casinos are waiting for the licensing rules to be written, but now you can place your bets. New at 5, business editor Rob Maloney going to dive into the impact of this big change on Michigan's gaming industry. Well, speaking of betting, I'm going to bet it's going to be really cold, terribly cold tonight. Definitely want to find some indoor activities. Let's bring in meteorologist Ben Bailey to see what we can expect.
Karen, that bet is going to pay off. It's just not going to give you a whole lot of money for it. Temperatures outside, big difference from yesterday. Remember, we were in the 40s. We're now at 24. In fact, there's some places that barely touching 20. Howell and Pontiac, 2 of those spots. So doing the math from yesterday, almost 20 degrees colder in a 24-hour span of time from yesterday afternoon. Storm Tracker 4 does have a couple light snowflakes out there. These are winding down. Eventually, the clouds will actually break, and that's what's going to set the stage for that cold night. It's been February of last year since we've seen temperatures so cold. So we're going to the teens tonight. We'll make it to 28 tomorrow and then 31 Sunday. But the big story is going to be what's coming after that. We'll look at snowfall totals for Monday and Tuesday in just a few minutes, Karen.
All right, you piqued my interest there. Thanks, Ben. Millions of Americans are remembering a man who played baseball and broke barriers. We're talking about the legendary Hank Aaron. He's died. Nicknamed Hammerin' Hank, he is known as one of the greatest players of all time. He played professionally for 22 seasons from 1954 to 1976. To this day, he remains the all-time leader in runs batted in and total bases. He was elected to the Hall of Fame back in 1982. A longtime supporter of civil rights, he co-founded the Hank Aaron Chasing the Dream Foundation to help children develop their potential. Hank Aaron was 86 years old. The impeachment of former President Donald Trump will move forward in just a few days. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will send a single article of impeachment to the U.S. Senate. That happens Monday. The former president is charged with incitement of insurrection over the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. Right now, the exact schedule of the Senate trial is uncertain, but Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says it will happen. 17 Republicans would have to vote against Trump to convict. If all innate Democrats vote against him, Trump is the only president to be impeached twice. Now today, the Senate confirmed the nation's first African-American Secretary of Defense. President Biden's choice, retired General Lloyd Austin, showed up to the Pentagon after being confirmed by a vote of 93-2. Austin is a West Point graduate who left the Army back in 2016. He needed a waiver for confirmation because the Secretary of Defense is supposed to be a civilian. Today, Austin was expected to tackle the COVID crisis, plus briefings on NATO, the Middle East, and China. Sometimes it's hard to believe all the huge events that we've just experienced. It feels like we've been through a decade of history in just the past 3 weeks. On Inauguration Day, Paula Tubman put together a roundtable of more than 30 local students to watch and discuss. She joins us again with the pride and the pain this next generation is feeling. Paula?
Karen, these students were so impressive. We really wanted to hear from them again as we end this week with just their thoughts on what's going on in the present and how it might affect their future. For the students we talked to across the metro area this week,
we have to bring peace from both sides, Republicans and Democrats.
There is such a deep sense of pride in the history of this week.
As an Asian American, particularly Indian American, it just makes me feel so, makes me feel so special that Kamala Harris is being sworn in as Vice President.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
I'm definitely excited for President Biden, and I'm excited to see what he can do for this country. And I can't exactly speak from a minority standpoint, but having Kamala Harris as Vice President and hoping that she can be a good role model for the minorities and just a female leader is big.
And there's also incredible pain.
I was doing my math homework and I look up and I see the TV and they've breached the Capitol. And it was a bit shocking to me because it kind of brought me back to the riots in Michigan in Lansing, at the Capitol in Lansing. And I guess it brought it all home to me that while I may live in a more diverse community that doesn't necessarily have I guess, a basis in white supremacy. There are places in Michigan that do.
I think that the number one existential threat to our democracy is political polarization.
If we continue on this path expecting everyone to either come to our side or just be wrong without trying to find some middle ground, there's going to be absolute division and there's going to be no hope for the America that we actually find united.
I think that means that the Biden administration has a very long uphill battle.
There's a great sense of duty to not just be a spectator.
But I think that there is still a lot of progress to be made. And especially as young people, we are the voice. It's our future that is in their hands, and we have to make sure that we put in our effort and continue to work for change.
And the great thing about being a teenager is nothing ever feels like forever.
Being that we have a transfer of power to a new administration in an era of a pandemic, we have such important movements going on, such as the social justice movement, the Black Lives Matter movement. And I feel like this inauguration will be a new turning point for our country in general.
You know, these students are realists. They understand that it's going to be a long haul to truly unite these divided states of America. But in one way, they seem to differ from a lot of their parents, certainly not all, but a lot of their parents is they want to put in the work. They want to get it done. Karen, I feel like my future is safe in their hands.
You know, it is much appreciated to have their input, and they're educated, too, about these topics, and are taking the time to learn about all of this, and that is what is really valuable. Appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Hope you have a good weekend. Still had the delayed Olympic Games. Are they on? Are they off? What Japanese leaders are saying today, and the other big decision coming soon. Also ahead, will former President Trump be allowed back on some social media? How one tech giant is considering that question. First, a store employee accused of a massive theft. We'll talk about the plot twist that made it a little harder to catch him, though his luck clearly didn't last. Stay with us.